Hello, this is Janelle Mercer from the Southwest Kansas Library System. And in this recording, I'm going to show you some file structure tips and tricks when you're inside Google Drive. Now I went ahead and logged into my Google Drive, and whenever you're logged into your email, all you have to do is click these little boxes right here. You'll have this when you're in your email. Just click this little button right here, and then you can easily get to your drive. I'm going to go ahead and click on Drive again to have it load again. Okay, so this is what my drive looks like when I first get in. You'll see that I have folders and then I have files. I would highly recommend that you set up a folder structure inside of here. It's kind of like just on your computer in your documents or anywhere on your computer. It helps you to find files and share with other people if you can have them inside of folders. Otherwise, it just dumps them in your drive and it's hard to find things. You can always search for documents in here. Like we have book fan schedules on here. Whoops. See, there's the book fan schedule. We actually have a folder that's called book fan schedule. But it's a lot easier if you have a folder, if you have folders set up. And there's some other things you can do, like you can go to your recent documents, you can find things that are shared with you and other things, that we're going to mostly focus on the folder structure. Another thing to note is you can also change how your files are viewed. You can do list view, whoops, sorry, let me reposition this. List view, which looks like this, and it'll show you who the owner of the file is and also the date modified. You can also see the file size if you move over a little bit, right there. And then you have the grid view, which was in a grid like I had before. It's kind of up to you which one you prefer. I'm going to change it to list view just because I like to see it that way. Okay, so this is how we have our folders set up. And I would recommend really thinking about what type of folders you might want to have before you get started. In our case, I have my own personal folders, which this training folder is something that I share with other people, but it's something that I don't share with the public very much. Then I have some other, like the cloud migration. This folder I share with Steve and Charlene, and you can see if it has the little person on the folder, that means it's shared. But like this HPPR private, we've been working on some High Plains Public Radio files, and these are just the private files that I have that they're not necessarily personal files, but just private, because I also have an HPPR folder that I share with other people in the office too. Then I have a Healthy Kids folder that's just for me. So that's just an example of some of the file structure. Now I'm going to go into the public folder to show you a little bit more. Okay, so basically our public folder, which you can see we're in my drive and public folder. The public folder is everything that we share on our website. Not necessarily everything, but most things that we share on our website. So you'll see in here that we have various different folders. We have like Tech Day, which has Tech Day files, Puppets, online meeting, newsletter. So there's lots of various files in here. And you can also see that we have different owners. So in most cases, whoever the owner is, that's who created the file or the folder. So this Swickles Storywalk collection, Savannah created that, but it's in the public folder, and she shares that with most of us or all of us. So that's kind of how that works. So whenever you create a folder, you are the owner. So that's something to think about. If you create a folder and then you leave, you want to make sure that people have access to that. So one way to get around that is you can actually change the owner of a folder. You can transfer ownership, or you used to be able to do that. If you need help with that, you can holler at one of us in the office and we can help you. You can also create it in a general account that everyone would have access to, but that's kind of a little bit of a pain. We have several libraries that have somewhat generic email accounts, like their director email is director and they have an ILL email account. That makes it so that if you leave, other people can use that account and they'll still have access to the files. Another cool thing about creating folders, like you could call this a web folder or public folder, is that everything will have the same sharing attributes as the main folder. So any other new folders we create in here, like the Storytime Bootcamp resources, when Savannah created that underneath the public folder, it automatically is shared with the staff members, and also is automatically everything that's put in there is shared with a link to the public. So I'll show you a little bit more about that. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the public folder. So I'm going to go back to my drive, and then we're going to go to public. And when you right click on the folder, you'll see that this little menu pops up with several different options that you can do or that you can view. So I'm going to go into share just to show you what's inside of here. So basically this folder is set up so that anyone with the link to any of the files in here, every file that you upload to Drive has a link associated with it so people can view it on the web. But this is set up so this folder, anything that is put in this folder, anyone with the link can view. So this makes it easy to share on our website. Basically, we just have the link and we can post it on our website and people can view it without any issues. You can also make it so that anyone with the link can edit, but we don't want that. We don't want to do that with these files, and you'll want to think about that when you're uploading files too. And hopefully this makes sense. If you have any questions, just holler at me. And you can click on more and you'll have several other options that pop up. In our case, anyone with the link works best. Public on the web, I would not recommend this because people can just find and search for your files. So anyone with the link is the best bet to go with any files that you're going to set up on the web. And I'll show you how you can set this up here in a minute. We're going to create a new folder. You can also share this with various other people. And in this case, we have it shared with everyone in the office, and they can organize, which means they can move things around, they can add, and they can also edit the folders. You could also make it so people can only view it if you want to do that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new file or a new folder. So there's different ways you can do this. I'm going to click on new and then go to folder, and I'm going to call it web documents. And then I'm going to click create, and you'll see as it's first created, it's not shared with anyone. That's the default. It's just a folder that you own inside of your drive. And you can see I'm the owner, and it also shows when it was created. So if I right click and go to share, I can share this with other people. So I'm going to enter names of people in our office that I want to have access to organize, add, and edit. So I'm going to add Savannah, Steve, Charlene, Tandy, basically most of the people in our office that, whoops, I can't get Patty's right email to come up. There we go. And then I'm also going to add Emily. So you also see down here you have an option where you can notify people. I'm going to move this up a little bit so that you can see this and move this down. I'm going to uncheck this. In most cases, you might want to notify them or at least tell them in person and show them where they can find the file. Then also up here, I have several different options. The default is that it has anyone at Southwest Kansas Library System with the link can view. And you want to be really careful with this because if you're going to post something on your website, you want it so that everyone can view it, not just people that are logged in or a part of your organization or library. So I'm going to click on more, and then we're going to change it to on anyone with the link. And make sure it has can view only, because you don't want anyone on your website to be able to edit your documents or be able to organize your files and that kind of thing. You just want people in your library to have access to that. So we're going to click save. And now you can see that we have it shared with various people in the office so that they can edit, organize, and add to it. And then anyone with the link can view the file or folders. So we're going to go ahead and click OK. And this is just saying if you skip sending invitations, they'll have to sign in before they notice they're there, and that's okay in this case. Okay, so now it's saved and now it's shared with people in our office. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead, and you could just drop files in here if you already have some files you want to add. I'm just going to add some new folders. So let's call this one Summer Reading Pictures. I'm just trying to think of things you might have that you might want to share on your site. And maybe you have policies. And then again, inside of here, like the Summer Reading Pictures, you could add like a 2016 and a 2017 folder. So that's kind of nice. I'm going to go back to web documents. So you'll see inside, since these folders are inside of the web documents folder, they have the same attributes. So if you go into the Summer Reading folder and let's go to share, you'll see that it's already set up so that it's shared with everyone from the previous folder, and it's also set up so anyone with the link can view. I'm going to go ahead and click done. And so that's basically how that works. Now I'm going to show you how you can share a file from here. So give me just a second here. So I'm going to go into the Summer Reading Pictures and I'm going to actually upload a picture. So I'm going to go to New and I'm going to go to File Upload. You can also drag and drop files in as well. I'm going to go to File Upload and I'm going to go to my desktop. And I'm going to upload a picture from Kismet. So we're going to go ahead. We're just going to pretend that this is a Summer Reading picture. So you'll see now you have this picture uploaded, and if you want to share it on your website, all you have to do is open up the picture. And again, there's several different ways you can do this. And then go here and go to share. And this is the link that you can link it from your website. So that's an easy way to link files. And obviously, if this was an actual file like a policy file, you would just link to the file that had the policy in it. I'm going to go ahead and go back. Click done on that and go back. So that's basically file structure in Google Drive in a nutshell. And I would really encourage you to be organized with your file structure and maybe even sit down with each other and figure out the best way to do it so that you all feel comfortable with it. And if you want to see some examples of libraries that have shared files through Google Drive, Cimarron City Library has most of their policies shared through Google Drive, and Stevens County Library has several forms that they've created in Google Drives if they shared on their website. Those are good places to look.